Okay, I think it's working. Somebody let me know. Like, are you here? I see some people in the chat. George, Stacy, Brian. All right. Good to see you all. Welcome to the Formula 5 Team Reveal Show. This is a show where we're going to talk about the teams for a game in which we're picking things for people driving cars somewhere else. We're like 5 steps away from actual sports here, but I'm glad you're here. All right, it's working. Awesome. Cool. Okay, well, let's get right to it. Let me tell you a little bit about the game we're playing. You guys are probably familiar with it. This game is called F5. You might have played last year. A lot of you are returning. I want to tell you about some changes for 2024. So this season, we got smaller team sizes. That's pretty exciting. Teams are now made of 4 players instead of 5. That's going to make things a little bit more challenging, a little more smaller margin for error when it comes to getting your team scores. We also have a new selection director. That's Theo. He's going to be choosing our 5 drivers every week. This week he picked the 5 drivers who were our top scorers from last year, and he's going to give us an explanation every week as to why he chose those drivers. But the 5 drivers we're ordering every week, the form that you filled out, Theo's going to be doing that every week. Okay, lastly, we got more podium bonuses. So in 2023, the top finisher got 1 additional point for finishing first. Now the top 5 finishers are going to get additional points. It's small. It's going to be 5, 3, 2, 1, and 1, but they do get some sort of bonus. So those are the changes for 2024. All right. Well, I know you guys are excited to see the teams. So let me tell you about how the teams work, and then we'll get right to it. As you know, you get individual scores every week as you fill out your forms and you get some things correct. We also have team scores, so you're competing as part of an individual and you're competing as part of a team as well. The top 3 scores from each team out of your 4 members, we add those 3 scores together, and then that's your team score for that week. So the lowest score doesn't count. So that means if a team has somebody who scores 40, 30, 20, and 10, their score would be 90 because we have the top 3, 40, 30, and 20. So it'll be a score of 90. If another team has like 35, 30, 30, and 0, even though they have fewer points overall, we drop that lowest score. So they get 35 plus 30 plus 30. That's 95. So that's how it works. We have smaller team sizes, as I said. We had 6 teams of 5 last year. This year we have 9 teams of 4, which means only 1 team score is dropped every week because it's going to be top 3 score. Dan, I'm glad you're here so you don't get fined. Dan is on my team, and if he didn't show up for this, I wouldn't start him next week. So, Brian's saying it's good for him that we dropped the lowest score. That is true. Okay, let's get to the teams. Here we go. Introducing the 2024 Formula 5 teams. Our first team, Bronco Scuderia. These were our winners last year. Bronco Scuderia won the whole thing last year. Our 2024 lineup is Anthony, Harold, Maggie, and Scott. You can see the places they finished in last year. Anthony was P3. He's carrying the team, did really well. But look, we moved from 5 to 4, which meant we couldn't bring back all 5 members onto the same team. So leaving the team is Heather Brackett. She'll be on a different team, which we'll talk about shortly. That's a big loss. I mean, Heather was number 4 last year. So Harold, Maggie, Scott, they're going to have to start pulling their weight. And they did a pretty good job last year. These are all people who are associated with Santa Clara University. Anthony, Maggie, and Scott are 3 of my former students, actually, in class. And Harold is, I worked with him at Santa Clara for the last 10 years. Anthony says they're going to get matching hats. It's going to be really easy, Anthony, because all you got to do is walk across from the Bronco statue and just pick up some Santa Clara hats. So it's kind of like ready-made for you all. I like that. Cool. Well, this is the Bronco team. I want to tell you a couple more things about them. One is where I think they're going to finish this year. Yes, they were first last year, but are they going to be first this year? Secondly, what their short acronym is, which can help you as you're looking through the standings every day. Every week, you can see what they're going to be represented as. So let's see. Where is Bronco going to be this year? 5th place. That's classic reversion to the mean right there. They were first place last year. I don't know. I don't see it happening again this year. I see 5th place. Is that unfair? I don't know. I got to put people somewhere. So BRO, Bronco Scuderia, they're going to be in 5th. Okay, Here we go. Let's see what team is next. We got Cougar Autosport. I know the whole Wong family is watching at home. Hi, Grant. Hi, kids. Hope you're enjoying this. All right, Cougar Autosport is a group of 4 people from Los Gatos, 4 dads who I've actually coached all their kids. They're all wonderful people. Sam actually took over a couple weeks in last year and jumped up to 7th place, so he did a great job. Paul was a mid-season addition. He was an independent last year, and he did really well. So this team's going to do great. Andy Thompson, his wife brought him in, and he's a rookie. And Grant finished P22. Grant's going to improve on that this year. Grant's a big analytics guy. I know he crunched all the data from last year, and things are going to improve. We have some departing players from Cougar Autosport. Evie and Theo are going to be going to a different team. Lucia as well. That's right. Andy and Lucia are not going to be on the same team. Husband and wife going against each other. My wife and I did it last year. It's fine. There was still peace in the house. Don't worry. Rafiq's asking who designed these logos. Rafiq, great question. Evie, my daughter, designed these logos. She didn't design all of them because there are a couple of new teams, but she did design these last 2 logos, and she did a really good job. So great job, Evie. All right, Cougar Autosport, the 4 men from Los Gatos who are into F1 to varying degrees. Here we go. Let's see where they're going to finish this year. 7th place. That's where I see them. Again, you can argue that. I'm really bad at predicting things. You should see how I'm doing in our NBA game. I'm in close to last place. So what do I know? It's probably going to be flipped. Okay, here we go. Let's move on to the next team, which is Wildcat Motors. Andrew, this is probably what you're thinking. Andrew, why would you have a Cougar team and a Wildcat team? 2 teams that are so closely named? That's going to be really confusing. I don't know. Why don't you ask F1 why there's a Red Bulls and a Racing Bulls? It makes no sense. I don't know how you can have a juniors team, but that's what we're doing here. We got Cougar Autosport. That's the senior team in Los Gatos. And now we got Wildcat Motors. These are the fine young folks who are either at Los Gatos High School, and Los Gatos is the Wildcats, or people who will be attending Los Gatos High School soon. So this logo is not designed by Evie. I just stole it from the internet. We got Ryan Coley. Ryan was a mid-season addition last year and actually had a higher average than anybody else in the entire league. So that's a good sign for Ryan. Theo finished P6 last year. Evie finished P13. And Aditya, Theo's friend, I'm not going to be surprised if Aditya is in the top 5. Because this kid is, super smart. So this team, I think they're an expansion team, but I think you're going to see him pretty high up there. I have him projected to finish 2nd overall. And I just don't see a weak link. I see 4 strong players. Evie has no idea. She just picks whoever, but you know what? She did well, and she's going to do great again. All right. I agree it's a strong team. Dan's asking if the South Bay teams are sponsored by Clark's Charcoal Broiler. If you ever watched High School Sports Focus back in the day, all the teams were sponsored by Clark's Charcoal Broiler. All right, let's move on to our next team. We got Drive Techs. Ooh, we got a little moving action here. This logo was designed by Evie, but the movement, I added that. Evie, how you doing? I hear her going in and out of her. Evie, everybody likes your logos. She's not watching. She's got homework. Come and say hi, Evie.
Pajamas.
I don't care. Here's Evie. She's doing a great job with the logos, including that one. Way to go.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Everybody loves your logos. See, they said they like your logos.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, go to your homework.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
See ya. Okay, Drive Techs. We have 4 players here who I went to grad school with. They're all graduates of the University of Texas Communication Program. We got 4 doctors here, I believe. Jacob Ford, who's still in Texas. Joe McGlynn, who's also still in Texas. Kristen, who spent some time in Texas, but now in North Carolina. And Nick Brody, who's from Texas originally and is now in the Pacific Northwest. Listen, we're looking at this team and... we got P25, P24, P21. So, that's not a good sign. Jacob, Joe, and Kristen, that's not a good sign. On the other hand, we have Nick, who's a rookie. Also not a good sign. I don't know why I said on the other hand, because that's also not, a great sign. And then the people who left this team, we had Heather in P15, and we had Manette, who won it all last year, P1, basically carrying the team herself. So like those are all not good signs. So you might be thinking, Andrew, you put this team last. You'd be wrong. I put him 6th. I don't know why. Because it just, whatever my first thought was, I said just do the opposite. So we have Drive Techs finishing in 6th this season. That's how I see it happening. They're all smart. They'll be able to figure something out. Nick today on a text said, I don't watch F1. So that's like also not a good sign. I don't even know why I put them 6th. They should be 9th. All right, moving on. We got another expansion team, Pacific Motorsport. This is a team of ladies who all lived in the Pacific time zone. That's how I'm bringing them all together. We got Heather Brackett, who finished 4th overall last year. We got Lucia, who finished 19th. We got Manette, who won it all last year, now lives in Texas. And we got Stacy and Heather on a combined seat. They're going to be sharing that spot, P11 and P15. These are all pretty good numbers. This is a pretty good looking team. I have pretty high hopes for this team. And Heather's pretty excited too. And we got to find out, where's this team going to finish and how are we going to abbreviate Pacific Motorsport? Okay, that's not the best abbreviation. I don't know if we're going to go with that long term, but let's see. Maybe we'll go with... Okay, that's better. We'll go with PAC. We'll go with PAC instead of PMS. It's probably better overall for that team. So I have them finishing 4th. It's probably too low, to be honest. They're probably going to finish higher than that. Anthony, you're saying I stacked the team for Heather. You know, I want to keep things peaceful at home. Heather just doesn't care. She loves F1 races because it's a chance for her to sleep. Heather, am I wrong? I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. We got 5 teams in here. Let's see our 6th team. Here we go. Formula Silicon Valley. Okay, I'll admit this logo I used AI to generate it. I'm not proud of it. It's not very good, but I just needed something really quickly. Edie's going to help me design a logo. You might be thinking, well, this team was here last year. Why is there no logo for it? It's because the team changed. This is a classic Formula One move. When your team's not very good, and this team was not good last year, you just change the name slightly, and then people are like, what team? I root for Kick Sauber F1. I don't know who Alfa Romeo is. So you just change the name a little bit, and then everybody forgets that you weren't good last year. This team was not good last year. George, P2, he carried the team. Chris, Rami, you guys did okay. Carolus has joined the team. That's a plus. We got Carolus. He's gonna help that team, and then we got classic addition by subtraction here with Jeremiah Yessa and Josh leaving the team. I mean, that's classic addition by subtraction. These guys couldn't fill out the form to save their life. They were 2 of the last 4 people there. So just by losing them, this team's going to be better. There's no question about that. Let's see how much better Formula Silicon Valley is going to be this year. Not much better. They're going to be 8th. They're not going to be very good. So that's okay. Prove me wrong. I know George is in this to win it. George, you gotta get your teammates in shape. I think you can do it. Go Formula Silicon Valley. Oh, I didn't tell you about this team. So these are all people who live or work in Silicon Valley, or lived or were born there. So let me go back here for a second. All right, we got George, who lives there now. We grew up together. Chris Fondacar, we went to elementary school together. Carlos now, he lives and works in the Bay Area. And Rami grew up in the area as well, and now lives over in D.C. All right, moving on to our next team. We got another expansion team. Let me get my logo out of the way, or my face out of the way here. We got Van City Corsa. So this is I'm calling it Team Rafiq. This is Team Rafiq right here. Rafiq was 7th last year. He said, hey, listen, I want to bring some guys in. I think we got the makings of a pretty good team. A couple friends from Vancouver. Yes, we have 3 rookies in this team, but I would not underestimate them. I think this team's going to be pretty strong. I don't think Rafiq is going to stand for weakness or random responses on the form. I think he's a guy who cares about winning. And you're going to see that with Van City Corsa, who is slated to finish third overall. Maybe too low. Maybe too low. I have a lot of faith in this team. Okay, well, we're getting down to the last couple teams. We got the 1st and 9th place left. So, who's going to be 1st? Who's going to be 9th? East Bay Racing. Okay, East Bay Racing finished 2nd last year. Really strong team. Really strong. Yes, they lost Rafik. Yes, they lost Carlos. Those are 2 big losses. But they got Zach, who finished P10. They got Joe, who finished P5. They got Anthony in P15. Really strong team overall, really balanced. And they're adding Chris Malik, who's a rookie but doesn't act like a rookie. Okay, this guy's, I've played games with him before. We've played fantasy football. He's dedicated. He's gonna be on top of things. I see great things for East Bay Racing. Now, this is a team of people from friends from church who all grew up or live in the East Bay now. They're green and gold, as you can guess, for the Oakland A's. And let's see where we think East Bay Racing is going to finish. 1st place. They were 2nd last year, and there were no weak spots. So I don't see every single person on that team falling back down. I see some people moving up. I see pretty good things for them. Now, I'll admit, these top 4, I could have put them in any order. That's really just, I have to choose an order. But, yeah. And thanks for commenting on that logo. Evie designed this logo as well. She did a really good job. Great job, Evie. Okay, let's get to our last team. Okay, I'm excited for this year because there's nowhere to go but up. Our team was called Aggie Motorsport last year, but as I said, when you don't do well, you just change your name slightly. We're now Aggie Slipstream. Logo designed by Evie. We're all UC Davis Aggies. We graduated around the same time. I lived with Brian and Dan. We're still great friends. And Kevin's my dentist, and we went to high school together. So I say all that to say I really like these guys, but at the same time, like P31, P28. Again, nowhere to go but up. Although I could be wrong, they could go down. So I take that back. We could actually get worse. Brian, in about September, we're filling out forms and we're on our group text and he says, "Who's Max Verstappen?" So that's where we are. He now knows who Max Verstappen is. So that's like a really big positive. George is saying slipstream meaning not in 1st. Yes, we are going to be in the back. I know that. But, I'm going to set the expectations low. Let's see where Aggie Slipstream is going to finish. We are going to be 9th. And I think Aggie Slipstream. Okay, I'm going to want to change that abbreviation. I don't know that that's going to be the best one going forward. So we'll go with Aggie Slipstream. That's probably better. Just a little more child safe. Okay, so those are our projected standings. Again, I'm notoriously wrong about these things, so it could be like flipped completely upside down. You tell me what you all think. Like, who do you all think is going to finish 1st? I'm pretty confident in my top 4 being the top 4, but who knows? Who knows? Okay. We're going to move on, and I'll just tell you a little bit about last year. Here are our top 10. What I really appreciated in our top 10 is that we had all 6 teams represented. It'd be amazing if in our top 15 this year we can get all 9 teams. Manette had 3 wins. That really helped her out quite a bit. It's going to be tougher this year. We have more competitors, and it's going to be hard to win a lot of races. So it's going to be more challenging, but I know that everybody's got a little more experience, so that's good. You can see how we finished in terms of the teams last year. Really closely packed together, especially teams 2, 3, and 4. Formula San Jose dropped off, and then Aggie Motorsport. It's like we weren't even playing. It's as if we weren't even involved in the game. We didn't even have a single team win. But again, nowhere to go but up. Change the name a little bit. It inspires people. Brian, again, now knows who Max Verstappen is. That is a plus. And I see better things happening. Okay. Well, I really appreciate y'all being here. This is ridiculous, and I'm glad that you all joined in. I hope you're having fun with it. Just want to let you know about the upcoming races. Here's like a little note for you. By the way, this is Theo in the Ferrari store in Milan. All the races are on Saturdays in May, March, and April. It's really weird. The first two races are on Saturday mornings, and it's because the second race they moved to Saturday because of Ramadan being on Sunday. And because the second race is on Saturday, they moved the first race to Saturday because they wanted to make sure there were 7 days between races. So that's why the first two races are on Saturday this year, which is weird, which is why I asked you all if it filled the form early. And then on top of that, the next three races are, all the way on the other side of the world, near the international date line. So they're going to be at 10 p.m., and midnight, Saturday nights for those of you in the Pacific time zone. But then in Sundays, we get back to and in May, we get back to the Sunday schedule. So that should be fun. Okay. Well, I hope you guys are having fun. I really appreciate y'all being here. I'll keep you all updated throughout the year, of course, with all the emails. And I'm having a lot of fun doing this. And I'm going to bring my face back here for a second. Here I am. Hello. I really appreciate y'all being here. I really do. Yeah, so we'll see how the races go. I'll send you guys something on Sunday with a summary of this week's numbers. And I'm excited to get started. Thanks for watching. Great to see you all. Bye.